Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. So it's a bright sunny morning in Seattle, Washington, and I hope wherever you're tuning in from, you're having a great day. So again, welcome to Coffee and Cosmos with Robin. My name is Robin Fritz. I'm an intuitive and spiritual consultant and certified past life regression specialist. And today I want to talk about using our intuition to feed our animals and, of course, ourselves. And I've touched on this briefly before, but I want to give you some really fun ways of learning to play with your intuition and really practice a little bit of animal communication with your animal families on the one subject that is important to all of us, right? Food. If you live with chow hounds, or a chow hound and a chow cat, as I do, you'll know how popular food is for them. But it's also really the important thing for all of us, feeding ourselves healthy food so we can do the work that we chose our bodies to do. So we're going to talk about feeding feeding our animals, by extension, feeding ourselves, a meditation with the Crystal Fallon, a crystal of the week, and some back and forth here. So wherever you are, chime in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And also, I'd like to take 2 quick questions from people for quick intuitive readings. And this is your platform. So comments that you want to make about your experiences feeding your animals or yourself, or things that are issues for you, please bring them up here. If I can't deal with your questions today, I will in another forum, another week. So I'm here every Monday morning at 11 Pacific time in Seattle. So wherever that is for you around the world. Doreen, you're the chow hound, right? I understand. And it's hard to be alone at times too. So yes, I think it's very common. You're not alone in experiencing overeating because you feel lonely. And unfortunately, that's when I start to turn to things like desserts. But I also like to get out and get exercise and walk. And fortunately, I live in a beautiful seaside community, kind of a funky little community. So I get to enjoy wildlife as well as my animals. So Doreen, I'd suggest if it helps you to get out and be active, that would be great. So let's get started here with Fallon, Citrine Lemurium Quartz. We're going to get grounded and balanced in the space together today. This is our time to be together wherever you are, and it's a time for you to put aside your cares and concerns. Of course, share them here with us, but join in community and feel that this is your place to come to be who you really are in the world. So again, Fallon is Citrine Lemurium Quartz. So I want you to take your attention to the top of your head, and we're going to bring mind, body, and spirit together here as you experience Fallon. And it would be how your intuition works most strongly. So you may see pictures, feel his energy, hear him tell a joke, for example, or simply know that you're connected with him in this space. So taking your attention to the top of your head, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, let that energy line, the breath, run down from the top of your head, down your face, your shoulders, your chest, your hips, your knees, and your feet. The top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And just feel the cares of the day settle, move away from you. Feel yourself settling, getting grounded and balanced in this space. And now as you breathe up, you're welcome to invite Fallon's healing energy in. You may experience it as a gold light going to your heart, and then with each beat of your heart, just flooding your system with healing energy. But however you experience it, this energy is here for you today. So breathing up from your feet, past your knees, your hips, your chest, your shoulders, your face, and the top of your head. So you be grounded and balanced here in this space with us today. And let me see if we get any other questions here as we go on. Oh boy, people are chiming in everywhere, so that's good. Denver, let's see, cancer and flat coats. Candy, I would address that. You're talking about flat-coated retrievers, possibly. I know there are some breeds of dogs in particular that seem to get cancer at higher rates. I lost my first Cavalier to hemangiosarcoma, which is 25% more likely in dogs that are spayed or neutered before 6 months of age, which is why I'm adamantly opposed to spaying and neutering in terms of the old guidelines. So that, I think, is one issue. And now there are a lot of veterinarians out there speaking to this issue. My Cavalier boy is intact and will remain that way because they have discovered that there's almost no reason to neuter a male dog. And the whole issue about population control simply doesn't apply to us because I'm a responsible owner and he doesn't have that opportunity, but he does have the opportunity to be healthy. They also suggest taking your female dogs through at least 2 heat cycles so their hormones develop in their body and their skeletons develop. Other issues for cancer are toxins in our environment, toxins in our food, as we discovered in certain kinds of foods that have things in them that we weren't expecting or weren't knowledgeable about, and a number of other reasons, but those are primary reasons. So let's talk about the issue of food. Everywhere is beautiful to walk. There are lots of places. Leslie, thanks for sharing that. I certainly agree with that. And snakes must eat too. Yes. Heather, I acknowledge your bravery if you're feeding snakes, because I don't think I'm that brave. Tuning in from Massachusetts. So good morning, everyone. And Sammamish, Washington, is that? And we're here in Seattle, Washington. It's a bright, sunny day, and we have had very cold evenings. But let me talk about food and feeding our animals and using our intuition. This is an area, and if you don't have animals, hang in there because this will also, I'll give you a tip on how you can practice with yourself and a friend here at the end. But using our intuition to help us find food, that's really one of the first things that I did in actively developing my intuition. And that was walking into a grocery store and noticing what foods I was drawn to and which foods I was not drawn to. And then experimenting with them, taking them home and deciding how they made me feel. The food I wasn't drawn to, did it make me feel nauseous, or did it just not feel satisfied, or what was it about that? And this is part of being very practical about your intuition and your daily life. So what your beliefs, what your emotions, what you know about certain foods. But let's say you're out there and you're trying to figure out what to feed your dog. And one of the reasons I'm bringing this up today is it's a tough issue trying to feed our animals. I'm using a dog today as an example. But if you tune into my radio show this afternoon at OMTimes.com radio, The Practical Intuitive Mind, Body, Spirit for the Real World, I'm airing a show today with Dr. Judy Morgan, who's a veterinarian who's written a book on feeding our dogs with recipes and how to balance food to help sort out certain health issues. And it's a really enlightening conversation. It's pre-recorded, but listen to it and get some ideas from her on how to prepare food for your animals as well as for yourself. What foods support certain issues? But right now I'm just talking about how to feed in general. So imagine you have a dog named Rosie, and you're getting ready to go to the store and buy food for Rosie. And you really want to connect with your dog. You get animal communication bit. You know that you're intuitive. You know that your dog responds to you, or your cat, right? And here's the thing that everybody's interested in, what we eat. So Rosie, hey Rosie, I'm going to the store to buy some food for you. What would you like to eat? And then the first impressions that come to you, however they come to you, jot them down. If you get pictures of meat or vegetables. When I first tried this exercise in communicating with my Cavalier Murphy, I thought I was making it up, because I got answers so quickly. But I saw a procession of food bowls with one with turkey, one with carrots, one with broccoli, one with dog treats. And then when I looked at her, she was wide awake and like, oh my gosh, I'm really excited. Are you going to give me something to eat? So it works really easily. Trust yourself. So ask Rosie what she or your dog or cat would like to eat. Jot down your impressions, then go to the store. And when you're at the store, say, hey, Rosie, I'm at the store. I'm in the meat aisle. What appeals to you? I'm in the vegetable aisle. What looks good to you? And you may run your hand down the aisle or down the, or in the dog's food store or in the regular grocery store for humans. You can run your hand down the cans of food or the bags or whatever it is that you're most inclined to feed your animals. And what pops out at you? What draws your attention? What intrigues you? What do you go like, nah? And attribute that to your reaction to your dog telling you what it likes to eat. The solution then is to buy a few of those things that really attracted you and maybe things that didn't. Take them home and try them out with Rosie. Now, if you have chow hounds, as I do, they're going to like everything, but they'll be particularly like certain things. My cat is extremely fond of rabbit, and she'll go for that over everything. My dog will go for raw meat over everything, and I'll experiment by separating things out in this bowl and notice which part of his bowl he goes to first. But when you're watching your animal eat whatever it is that you've offered them, what do you notice their reaction? Are they enthusiastic? Can you tell a difference between their normal enthusiasm and what they're experiencing or demonstrating now as they eat? Even if you have to close your eyes to block out your eyes so that you can just feel, notice how it feels in their belly. Afterwards, you can put your hand on their belly and notice how it feels. And keep track of your experimenting with them. And then later you'll notice if it really agrees with them or not, depending on what you're picking up on the street, right? If you're out walking the dog. But the advantage of this process is it creates a closer relationship with you and your animals, but it also gives you insight into things that support them. And food is the first thing that supports all of us. Finding safe and nourishing foods to eat is how we live and how we create healthy bodies, how we help our animals create and maintain healthy bodies so that they can do the work that their souls chose those bodies to work in. Just like we chose our bodies as humans to do whatever it is our souls wanted to do in this lifetime. And as you play with this over time, you're going to really start getting more and more information. And if you don't have an animal in your household, or you're not interested in animals, that's fine. Take the same idea of experimenting and team up with another person. And you can ask, you can go to the store, you can experiment with them, you can go to the store and go, okay, I'm going to pick out foods that I know Joe or Sally likes to eat, and Joe and Sally may be with you in the store, or they may set a time to do the same experiment and you come back and you share your notes on that experiment. What does that person like to eat versus what do I like to eat, and how does that make them feel and how do I feel? And this is really easy to do with another human because they'll give you honest feedback. No, I do not like broccoli. Things like that. But what it does is help you play and enjoy your intuition at the same time as you're learning how it works, so that you're automatically choosing food that works for your body. And when I first was doing this, I was trying a macrobiotic diet, which was years ago. I don't even know if people still are talking about things like macrobiotic diets. But really, the process was tuning into foods that felt good in my body and how they felt and what they were doing for my body and helping me to recover from a chronic illness. So I know that this process does work, and it's also fun, and it will give you a lot of practical information on how your intuition works. So let me see if there are other comments here that I can help answer. Yes, Fallon is a beautiful quartz. Other questions here as we go in. Somebody from Massachusetts. Think about how that feels to you. Testing how your animals react to the food that you choose for them, testing how you and your friends react to the foods that you feel you need to eat and they feel they need to eat. So you can double check with yourself. So you have certain foods that you believe you need to eat. Ask your friend to check how those foods resonate with you, and you may be surprised at the answer. You may be surprised to find out there are other foods that they suggest you eat, and you can try them and see if they're picking up on real intuitive information for you, because all that information is floating out there ready for you and for them to tap. And then how your body responds to eating that food. Very practical stuff. And what you learn over time is that you're always using your intuition. You're just not always completely aware of it. And so we sometimes make mistakes. And this is how we learn, very rapidly learn things about our intuition and how we get along in the world. So I hope this gives you some ideas on how to practice playing with your food. I have friends that laugh and say, I douse for my food. Like people will douse for water or energy lines in the planet, ley lines, and so on. And the truth is, I do douse for my food. If I was to farm out activities, say a group of us got together and decided to create a co-housing environment, and we farmed out activities to each other, mine would be buying the food, because I have to buy my food in person. I couldn't have my food delivered, because I literally do run my hands in the air over the food, or I look at it and I pick out the food that my eye is immediately drawn to. That's how I feed myself, and that's how I feed my kids. And I have to say, we're much healthier over the years than we were before I started trying this. So it does work. Try it. Let me know next week what you think and how that worked for you, what you learned, and we'll go on from there with other topics. Today, I'd like to end with a crystal of the week. And for the crystal of the week this week, I picked out plain quartz. Because plain quartz or clear quartz is really easy to get a hold of. It's inexpensive. You can buy small pieces and experiment with it. But it's also a good all-around crystal. So you may find sometimes that there's certain crystals that you and your animals just cannot handle. The energy of them may be too strong or disruptive for their bodies. But clear quartz seems to be something, and a clear basic quartz seems to be something that's a good all-around crystal to start with. It's also, as you know, since it's used in computers and a lot of other things, that it's a very powerful energy amplifier. And so it can help you get yourself grounded and balanced. You can tuck it in your pocket when you go dousing for your own food or food for your animals. And you'll just feel that things are enhanced, energy's enhanced, your knowing ability is enhanced. So your intuition and your energy healing abilities are enhanced. And as you think about using quartz, think too about the energy healing that's there for you in the foods we eat. You know, nature is pretty smart, right? Food is what nourishes and supports us. It helps keep our bodies healthy, but the energy of the food too, the energy of all life coming together in that food is part of the cycle of nature that keeps us going, mind, body, and spirit. So think about the food you're eating, the food you're feeding your animals, if you have animals, and how they react to that and what information that gives you moving forward in creating a closer relationship with them and helping yourself to be the healthiest that you can be. So I want to thank you for joining us today here. Humanity Healing has created this forum for us to be together. So if you like these broadcasts, please like the page here, the Om Times page, my page, The Practical Intuitive, Robin M. Fritz. You can also go to my website at robinfritz.com. That's ROBYNFRITZ.com. If you sign up for my newsletter, you get a free video meditation with Fallon and some grounding crystals. So it's a grounding and balancing meditation, video meditations. It's really cool. And if you'd like to work with me, I offer personal and business intuition, mediumship, talking to deceased human and animals. Oh, sorry, I forgot to unplug my phone. Animal communication, of course, past life and between life regression, spiritual awakening, spiritual journeys, meeting your spiritual team, the things that we need to do to be our best selves. I'm here to help you on your journey, and we're all here each week helping each other. So I want to thank you for joining us today. If you have questions, you can also contact me at my page, The Practical Intuitive, Robin and Fritz. Ideas for future Facebook Live videos, I always welcome those. And please tune into the radio show this afternoon if you're interested in how we can feed our animals and what that means for us overall in taking care of ourselves and our families. So peace to all of you. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you back here next week. Take care.